Hi, if your tumble dryer is not heating, then there's a good possibility that either the heater or thermostats are at fault. So in this video I'll be replacing the heater and the thermostat assembly in a Hotpoint CTD00 condenser dryer. In this range of dryers, the heater and the thermostat come as a unit, so it doesn't matter which part is faulty, you replace the whole unit. It's not possible to test the thermostats anyway because of their location within the heater cover. So because we know the heater has to come off anyway, we'll start by removing the top cover. Remove the two screws on the back of the cover and push it backwards. It may take a few hits with the heel of your hand to free it, but it will come off. The top has to be removed to gain access to the one screw at the front of the side panel, plus it hooks into the top edge of the side panel as well. There are just 4 more screws on the rear edge of the side panel, and that can come off as well. Now you can get to the heater wiring plug. It will just pull apart, and because it has a moulding on one side, the pins will only fit back together one way. With the heater cable disconnected, you just have to remove the cover holding it onto the cabinet, but first take off the bearing cover. When removing the heater cover, it will be easier to remove the lower screws first, as this will prevent the cover from pivoting when all but the last screw has been undone. And only remove the screws on the outer edge of the cover, not the two on the inner edge, because they hold the heater in place. Hold on to the cover when the last screw has been undone to prevent it from dropping off. Feed the cable and plug through the cabinet and the whole assembly will come free. Now lay it on a flat surface with the heater down and remove the last 2 screws that fix it to the cover. As you can see, the heater in this unit is not the correct one for this model, although it did work. This particular range of condenser tumble dryers only have 2 rear thermostats, and this unit has 3, although one is not wired up. Plus the wires were cut and joined, a common trick used by some engineers to save time. Before replacing the heater assembly, just give the area a good brushing to remove any loose dust, and also brush the rear of the cabinet. This will minimise any dust from getting onto the heater and giving off a strong burning smell. When handling a new heater assembly, only hold it by the metal frame to prevent accidental damage. Seat it into the heater cover with the 2 protruding tags facing down so they're touching the cover. Now turn the whole thing over onto a flat surface. You should be able to line up the 2 holes in the cover with the holes in the heater tags and fit the screws, but don't tighten them just yet. Now turn the cover over and check that you've not trapped any wires between the heater and the cover. If so, poke them out of the way. When you're sure the wires are clear, then tighten the heater. Fit the cable tie into the cover. This will hold the wire securely when you refit it to the cabinet. Remember to fit the cable plug through the hole in the cabinet before refitting the cover, or you'll have to take it off again. Replace all the screws around the cover. It doesn't really matter in which order they go back in, just as long as none of the heater wires are trapped. You may feel at the start of this repair that you could leave this cover in place because the heater cover will come out from under it, which is correct, but you will have a job slotting it back when you come to replace it. As I said at the beginning of this video, there is only one way the 2 cable plug sections can fit together, so you won't get the wires crossed. Fit the side panel onto the base of the cabinet and slide it to the front of the machine. This will lock the bottom and front edges of the panel in place, The screws on the back and top edges hold it secured. It only remains to refit the top, screw it down, and the machine's ready for testing. Before you switch it on, just do an earth continuity test. Set your meter to the 200 scale and put one probe on the earth terminal of the plug and the other on any exposed part of the cabinet. If you get a reading, the earth's fine, but if not, the machine needs further investigation. On behalf of Selfix UK, we'd like to thank you for watching this video and hope you found it useful. Goodbye.